In this video, we'll be scanning multiple files. So the program reads several files and checks whether they contain specific words such as error, warning, and failed. And we're trying to simulate analyzing log files to detect issues. So we'll start off by creating an array and storing the file names that we want to scan into the array. Our array is called files, and it has log1.txt, log2.txt, and log3. Let's have a look at the content of our files. So log1 has system status successfully, users logged in. In log2, we have warning, disk usage high, backup completed. In log3, we have error, file not found, and operation failed. So we have two keywords here, one word from our keywords list and nothing in log1. So next we will create an array and store into the array the keywords that we want to search for. So we have array, warning, and failed. So the total number of files is stored into a variable called file count, and that's 3 files. And the total number of keywords that we're searching for is also 3, and that's stored into a variable called keyword count. Our first loop is going to loop through each of our files. So first we print out the name of the file that we are scanning. We then open the file in read mode. And if that file cannot be opened, we skip to the next file using the continue keyword. We then create a buffer to store each line from the file, and we call it line. We then create an integer variable to use it as a flag to track if a keyword was found. Initially, we give it the value 0. And then we're going to use this keyword to check. If no keywords were found in the file, we're going to say no issues were detected. And this will happen at the end of scanning each file. And over here, if this condition is true, that's when we change the keyword found to 1. So then we know that issues were found. Then we have another loop. So after our first loop is reading one file at a time. So for each file, we then read each line from the file. So each line. So that's a second loop. We'll loop through the contents of the files. So the file is read into our line. And then for each line, we have a third loop, and that's going to check every line for the keywords that we've stored in our keywords list. So up to the number of keywords that we have in our keywords list, which is 3, we're going to loop that much times, or that many times. So here we're going to check if the keyword appears in the line, and if it does, we will print out that the keyword was detected. So if there were more than one, more than one keyword, then this line will print as many times as there are keywords. So for our third file, this should happen or should display twice. And then, of course, once this is marked as 1, that's it. Then we know that a keyword was found. If at any point for that particular file, no keywords were found at all, then we display to the user that no issues were detected. We close that particular file and we say scan has been completed for that file. And then once all the 3 files have been read, then we print out that scanning of all files has finished. Let's build and run to see how this looks like. So we're looking at log1.txt. No issues were found because none of the keywords that we're looking for exist in the content of this file. And that scan has completed for that file. In log2, however, we have one keyword that was detected, which is warning. And that scan is completed for that file. Then we open log3.txt. And that particular file has 2 keywords. The first one is error, and the second one is failed. The scan completes for that particular file, and then all the scanning of all the 3 files has been finished and completed. So I hope this video was helpful to you, and I'll see you in the next one.